I didn't fully believe in astrology until early last year. See, I couldn't wrap my head around how we're traveling on this ball, this space rock at over a million miles per hour through space, and these constellations and stars in our sky haven't changed for thousands of years, and we know thousands of years because the cave paintings that they found in France date back 30 to 50,000 years, and the constellations there are the same ones in our sky right now. Now, the cult of science, of course, has an explanation for this. The perspective of how far we are from them and it's such a massive distance that we can't tell a difference. Well, now, isn't that a coincidence? You know, I don't believe in coincidences. You know, there's even a movie that I think of when I think of there are no coincidences, and that is The Men Who Stare at Goats. Men Who Stare at Goats is a movie based on a CIA disclosed document, which means it's based on all true stuff that our government has done. But of course, something that outlandish, they had to put it in a movie and make it a comedy because people wouldn't believe that our government would actually do something like that these tests were even actually done. No, this is all happened, disclosed, we know it to be true. There are no such thing as coincidences. We make all of our choices before we're even born. We make contracts with our parents, who our parents are going to be. They make contracts with us. We help them out, they help us out. We make contracts with all the people we're going to meet throughout our life, all of our friends, and all the lessons that we're going to learn. There is no such thing as coincidence. We reincarnate over and over again because we have to learn how to master our emotions, our desires, and that's not an easy thing to do. And that's just not my theory alone. That's what the Vedic Indians teach. That's what the Native Americans teach. Several other different cultures talk about these topics, and their history hasn't nearly been as altered as the mainstream history that we have. So they're a pretty reliable source. And no, not reincarnation through like insects, bugs, animals, trees, or something like that. No, through human, over and over again. Maybe varying shapes, varying heights. Might be much, much taller. Could be male, could be female. It's whatever you had planned to experience to help you learn a lesson. Back to astrology, in the Bible, right in the beginning in Genesis, it makes it very plain and very clear that these stars were placed in the firmament to be used as signs. Now, what better to have as a storytelling device than the stars that is unalterable? It can't be edited by some empire or some government that comes along and destroys the power before it and takes over and rewrites history. You can't do that with the sky. It's the perfect place to put it. It's an unalterable history that we can see right above us every night. Super interesting time to be alive right now. We all chose, anyone watching this video, anyone around right now, they chose to be alive at this time, whether they knew it or they didn't know it. Subconsciously they knew it, or they did know consciously that this is going to be an exciting time and this is the time to be here. They may have missed it by a couple of years, you know, maybe they're like 70 years old right now or something like that. They got a lot longer to live out through this cycle, but they knew this was still the time to be alive, and it is the most exciting time to be alive. There's a dwarf star, I believe it's Chiron, that makes a 12,000 year orbit that's orbiting right now. And more importantly, the solar maximum that only happens once again every 12,000 years. I mean, 12,000 years, two different instances. It's an extremely rare cycle, and here we are right here in the middle of it, right here in 2024. And the solar cycle has to do obviously with the sun heating up, but also with the sun changing colors. I believe the sun used to be red. I mean, you see a lot of truth in older flags, and the Japanese flag shows a red sun. They say it's the red sun rising in the evening or in the morning or whatever, but I believe it's more symbolic of the actual red sun that we had in our skies. And as the frequency goes from lowest being red, like the lowest form of, or the coolest of heats, and it rises throughout the different frequencies and different colors that coincide with it, to orange, and then to there's many different in between there, but just to get the point across, yellow as well. And yellow is our most recent one that we had in the past 100 years, maybe a little bit longer. All the pictures and drawings, everyone uses a yellow sun. And right now it's obvious to everyone accepts it, we have a white sun. That's pretty recent, and it is speeding up because the frequency is speeding up, and there's even people talking about seeing a little bit of blue in the sun now, and that's the absolute highest. When we think of colors of fire, colors of heat, blue fire, blue dwarf star, whatever, that's considered the highest. That's because that's a half-truth. That's because it correlates to the highest frequency, and the solar maximum is what's a direct reflection or a correlation of our global consciousness raising higher and higher, and blue being the highest. And the solar is what controls the frequency that's going on around here. So as we are all, as a consciousness, rising higher and higher in frequency, obviously it's reflected by what we see, the color in the sun. And they're happy. I mean, it is a little bit hotter right now, and that's going to happen in a solar cycle of a solar maximum. But yeah, it went through a white sun very quickly if we're already transitioning to a blue sun. And oh man, that's even more exciting. It's the most exciting time to be alive. All this, of course, is the most, why not this year? We have the biggest political games. We have these different wars going on. I mean, they don't want to call them wars, but what's going on in Ukraine, the movements that China is doing, trying to seize Taiwan, I mean, whatever. It's all junk. I'm literally listing off junk, and I shouldn't be, because there's nothing to worry about. I'm just pointing out that there is so much going on right now to distract us, to keep us in a lower frequency of fear and terror, of not knowing what the future is going to hold with the currencies, all this stuff, whenever we should be, in fact, super excited and happy. And that's a distraction. So I'm just here to bring it all out and let you know that that's all junk. It is the time to be excited, to be happy, to be just so, to know everything is okay. And as long as you believe that everything is okay, I've said this so many times now, as long as you believe everything is okay, your belief creates a reality. I'm going to keep harping on it because people don't seem to get it. Your belief creates a reality. So if you believe everything is going to be okay, which it is, then relative to you, everything will be okay. So everything's going to be okay. It's the most exciting time to be alive. And just give thanks that you're here. That's it.